you looking for a property to buy or lease? Are you tired of buying fake property from unregistered agents? Then this is good news for you. My Property and I is a real estate management program. Comes your way every Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. on African Independent Television, AIT. Contrary people, una dey hear me so? I say My Property and I go tanda for your television every Tuesday 5:30 p.m. to give una all the tori about property for our state and how to get better one. We go dey bring una people wey sabi property matter to teach us how to buy and sell property without mago. Join us this Tuesday 5:30 p.m. on AIT Benin. My Property and I. Me sef fit be landlord.
Good day, viewers. You welcome to another exciting episode of My Property and I remain your host, Sarime John is my name. Property has been issues that bothers the heart of many. This is why we bring to you the first real estate management program that gives you background knowledge on how to acquire genuine property, where to acquire genuine property, and possible ways to manage and develop that property of yours. You know, we're always having a guest on our show. We usually do justice to the issues that bothers our heart. Today on the show, we're having a guest. He's a humble man, a real estate developer who has done well in developing our community and our cities. We're going to be taking a short break right now. When we return, you'll be meeting with our guest who's going to be doing justice to that issues that bothers your heart as regard property.
What's your plan for the rainy days? Have you thought about a good savings and investment plan that can help you scale through a financial emergency? Bohati Cooperative is the answer. Bohati Cooperative is a microcredit arm of Bohati International, duly registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission and the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Bohati Cooperative is involved in savings, loans, and has investment portfolios in agriculture, forex trade, and e-commerce. Our savings plans include normal savings, which are thrift savings, also known as Osusu, voluntary savings, education savings, and festive savings. The long-term savings plans include durations for 3 months, 6 months, and a year. We have personal special savings, which includes gold package and diamond package, and the group special savings, which is strictly for salary earners and working class of both public and private sectors. Our head office is at number 1 Okoro Road, Benin City, and our branch offices are at number 172 Ikuba Slope by Terry Junction, Benin City, and number 47 Forestry Road, Benin City. You can call on 0814-387-4572 or 0802-999-7158. Secure your future today with Bohati Corporation.
Mr. Sarime, our viewers, welcome to the show.
Please, can you introduce yourself to our viewers and also tell us more about your business?
My name is Kachala Jeremiah Gani. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Tweak Real Estate Firm. Our office address here in Benin. We've been into properties for a remarkable number of years. We are 16 years in operation. So we are into diverse real estate businesses such as property brokerage, real estate development, and so on, or what have you. Okay. Tweak Real Estate Firm is known for top-notch delivery of real estate services. And we, by the grace of God, be opening branches around outside Benin City, such as in Lagos, in Abuja, and in Port Harcourt.
How do you define the purpose of an estate in this part of the world, Edo State precisely? I don't know if maybe you did outside Edo State, but how do you define the purpose of an estate in this part of the world?
Lagos is Lagos because of the population. Not just because of the landmass, not just because you have a landmass that is big or small, because of the population. Whatever you sell around that region, whatever you are producing, I mean to say, it will sell because you have ready buyers for your product. But I'll use Benin or Edo State as a case study. You cannot compare the economy of Edo State and that of Lagos. Why? Because of the people staying there, the population there. So when it comes to real estate, the purpose why we are actually running this real estate is to cause remarkable development. Although you have to say the reason why you are doing a business is to make profit. Yes, you're not far from the truth. But we also have vision that we want it to affect the country or the state positively. So if, for example, we are developing 10 estates around Benin, for example, and you have people coming to stay in this region, it will lead to so much creation of jobs, and so much SMEs will come into play, the small medium enterprise. And you agree with me that SMEs are the bedrock of any economies.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that's what really negates the growth, the strength of economies, not just really these big industries in quote. So it will lead to the betting of so many SMEs that will in turn strengthen the economy of any given state. So for this part of us looking at the purpose is actually to cause remarkable development in Edo State, which will in turn affect Nigeria at large. The purpose of it is to cause meaningful growth. So if people are developing, they will have to buy cement. The sand will definitely come into play. Labor will be there. You discover that it will affect the economy positively. There will be inflow and outflow. Cash will be in circulation. So apart from that, people will want to leave the congested cities and go to these areas that are developing. And with time, they become developed because the people have inhabit this place. So that's the purpose of which we are seeing real estate at this time.
Thank you, sir, for that answer to the questions. When it comes to a layman interpretation, I think everybody can understand more better. Sir, how do you determine the authentic value of a property before investing into it?
Well, there are different factors that come into play by determining the value of a property before you invest into it. People look at the adjoining communities. You agree with me? Let's use Benin as a case study.
Okay.
There are some areas in Benin where you can get a house for 1 million naira. A 3-bedroom flat in a four flat, a 3-bedroom flat from a 4 flat for 1 million naira. But you can't, if you build the same house in another given area, nobody will pay 500,000 naira to rent that house. Why? These are the factors that comes into play. Before you invest into property, you should look at the adjoining communities. Any community that is close to the GRA, for example, they will all see it as a GRA extension. So automatically, it's the value of that place we definitely appreciate. Let's use Ajegule, for example. Any place closer to Ajegule in Lagos, they'll see it as a slumped area. So what happened to the value? It will definitely appreciate, but it's going to take time before it appreciates. So the factor that really comes into play, the adjoining communities, the accessibility to the place really comes into play. If the place is not accessible, no matter how GRA-like it is, the price will still be on the minimum. So the value price, you will be able to forecast the value price of that property if it will sell with time based on this demographic, based on what is happening around the place you are trying to invest in. If, for example, it's a waterlogged area, everybody sees it's a waterlogged area. Nobody will want to come around there. Why? Because it's waterlogged. They know with time, even when they build their house, they are all going to be in soap. So they wouldn't want to invest in that place. So you'll be able to determine the price of real estates before you invest when you look at these few factors. Yes, you look at the adjoining communities. So you look at the development. Is the access road? Is there something like an investment around that area that will make people want to come and stay? For example, if I take a steel company to a place in Benin, and we're having like 4,000 workers working there. What happened? There will be a time they will want to stay close to where they are working. So the place is going to develop because people start looking for what? An accommodation around that place. Before you know, the price of land there will what? Increase. If it was that 600,000 naira before, it will now become 800 or 1 million naira. Before you know, it enters 2 million. As people are building their houses, a lot of people are coming to stays, barbing salons, shops, and all of that will start to come around that area. So that is what really affects. This is what you look at. If you use Ibejuleki, for example, one of the selling points of these people, of this developer, they'll tell you Dangote refinery is there.
Yes.
They are all rushing there. This other establishment is there. This one is coming here. You discover that the price will start to increase with time as people begin to inhabit that place.
The value of a property definitely increase based on the resources, or should I say the development or the companies in that environment. According to Mr. Twick, the CEO of Twick Estate, he actually did well to that question. If you once asked us, should he sell his building or his house that is not an estate before going to buy a house in an estate? The reason why he asked the question is that he likes to have a home in an estate, and the setting of an estate these days make him to love estate more than even outside estate. So he asked that question: should he sell his home in outside an estate to make sure he go and buy the property inside an estate?
Well, on that, it all depends. It all depends. Okay, why is that? It's because, for example, we have estates in 8 different locations around Benin. Okay? We have at Ahor, we have at Okoma community, we have at Wekmen community, Uroko community, Iwu, and different places. Okay, these are developing areas. Now, would you want to sell your house that's worth 100 million naira along Akpakpava in Benin to come and buy land inside Iwu community that's developing because of the setting? Would you do that? Of course, you won't do that.
I'm not sure I'm going to do that.
Of course, you won't do that. So it all depends on the location of your house. You have to look at it critically. If how beneficial it will be to you. If you see that this place I'm staying is, if I sell this house now, the maximum I'll get is 20 million naira. But if I have a house in that estate, within the next 2-3 years, I will be selling my house inside the estate for like 60 or 70 million. What you do, you can sell. Yes, you can actually quickly sell and go and get a place in the estate because you looked at you've been able to forecast the development rate in that estate, that within so and so time, from time A to time B, this is what will be realizable. That is critically for those that are real estate investors. Yes, it's not basically because you want to, if not, you want to live in so and so place, and you end up living in like 10 places within 10 years because you'll be moving from here to here. So for investors, they can look at it. Okay, I have this property here, why don't I sell it? Use this money to invest. I have some persons come to us and they invest like that. We help them to sell their house. They come to buy like 20 plots in our estates. Yes, they've been able to build in 2 plots, and the other ones they are preserving it. That when it appreciates, they will sell and make a lot of money. Now imagine for example, our estate at Airport Road, the Zion Group estate, is currently selling for 2 million naira. Now in the next 4 years, that place will be sold. In the next 4 years, that same plot will be sold for 6 million. Imagine you are having 18 plots there already. That is 6 million times 18. That's good money.
I have to punch my calculator on that now.
That's good money. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
So the person can actually quickly sell Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Invest in where it's staying and still have large number of land to resell later. That is real estate investors. We usually encourage this because it's one of the good way of making money. It's stable. When I mean stable, you are not trying to put money to maintain it, you are not feeding it, you are not trying to get staff to. No, all you need to do is to meet a trusted real estate company that you can buy from. For example, Tweak Real Estate Firm, you can actually buy from us. I live it 5 years, 10 years, nobody will trespass because we are still the owners of that estate. We sell to you, but we still exert some controls. We still watch over the estate. That's the right word, so that nobody will come and encroach, whether 10 years or 20 years later, because we will still have our own housing unit in that estate. So we coordinate the securities and all of that to ensure that life is good and for everybody that invests around there. So if somebody is investing there, for example, there's assurance that he's going to get his money back with more interest within time. So we usually advise young people, old and young. Some persons think everybody you see driving flashy cars today, living comfortable life, they've been into fraud or ritual. No, some of them are just being wise to invest. And that money you want to go and spend in drinking bottles. Yeah, some spend 2 million naira for just a bottle of drink. You can put it together and invest. The investment will be there, growing silently. You don't need to kill yourself over it. A friend of mine at the time got 6 million naira from a deal, and he told me he wants to get a car. So I like, what do you need this car for? I mean, you have 2 cars already. He said yes, but he wants to upgrade. He wants to sell that one and get the new one. And I'm like, oh, you don't really need this, man. Just bring this money and invest. So we argue. So he's a person that listens to me all the time. So I was able to convince him. So he bought 6 plots from us at 1 million in our estate, one of our estates in Benin. That's about 5 years ago. So he bought 6 plots. So 2020 came, there was COVID-19, and proud before that time, it was duped 16 million naira. The business actually went down. So COVID-19 crisis all came. The guy was completely down. He came and was crying that please, he doesn't know where to start from. To him, he's finished, and all of that. He started crying, complaining, and I looked at him. I said, okay. He was asking me for cash. I like, we've invested money on real estate. So I don't have free cash to give you now, and there's no money really with me at that time. So I asked him, like, okay, the land we sold for you at that time, did you sell anyone? Like, no, I didn't sell. You guys are the one watching over the land for me. I'm like, yes. And he said, okay, there's no problem. I said, okay, do you know how much is the value of the land now for one? He said, no, a plot is 5 million. He looked at me in amazement. I said, yes, 5 million naira. So he brought those documents. We were able to sell 4 plots for him. Wow. He realized 20 million naira for that 4 plots. He still have 2 plots left. He said he's not touching that until he gets to 10 million. Wow. Yeah, so he was able to bounce back to his business because there's investment on ground. It appreciated within the space of 4 or 5 years. What he bought for 1 million naira is currently being sold for 5 million. So just imagine he bought the car. I'm not saying getting a car is wrong. I know it's good. Definitely. It's necessity. Yeah. Just imagine he bought a car with it. What happened? The price must have depreciated. He might have gotten accident with the car. 1 or 2 things must have happened. And if he sold that car that time, he would have gotten up to 4 million naira. Never. You understand? So he was able to bounce back because that investment was there. So I usually advise people that the money you leave in your bank account is actually depreciating. It's depreciating because what you bought with 1 million naira last year, you can't actually buy it this year with the same 1 million naira. It's maybe 1.2 million naira now or 1.5 million naira. So what happened to your 1 million naira that you used to brag about? It has lost its value. But any money you invest in real estate, it appreciates over time. If you buy a land now for 2 million naira, you want to sell it tomorrow, you sell it for 2.2 or 2.1 million naira. Somebody in one of our estates came to us. We launched it newly. We were selling for 2 million naira. Sorry, 1.8 million. So he came and said, okay, he wants to take the front of this estate, about 10 plots, for 1.7 million. And I looked at him. I said, "This 1.8." He said, "No, because I'm buying more. I want to. Since I'm the first person, I want to buy for 1.7." And I said, "Okay, no problem. Bring the money." So he paid for 10 plots. Just in the space of 3 months into the sales of that our estate, People started coming and asking for that same plot along the road. So I asked him, like, is anybody, people are asking, are you willing to sell? He said, yes. If they offer me 2.5 million, I will sell. And said, okay. So when people come around, we were able to sell most of the land inside. So they were more interested in the one along the road. So I told them, well, we sold that one, but the person wants to resell for 2.5 million. They said, we are going to pay. We are going to pay. They paid for it.
Wow.
He sold 8 plots. He still having 2 plots left. 8 plots. You just imagine within 3 months interval. Imagine how much he's getting per plot. I call that the miracle of real estate.
The miracle of real estate.
Yes.
How can someone be an investor?
There are challenges, okay, but that should not discourage anyone from venturing into real estate. I will just run briefly how it came about. I entered real estate while I was praying, so God directed me to go into real estate. So although I did some courses, okay, to brush up myself at the later end, not at the beginning. So I started with rentage. Okay, yes, from rentage, that is how we graduated. We sold our first land. That gave me about 1.1 million naira. Wow. It took me like 4 years for I was able to sell it. There are a lot of challenges that comes with it, because at first nobody will believe in you. Okay, but you have to take advantage of your peers, your relatives, your friends. Tell them this is what you do. They are the one that can easily patronize you. They are the one that can easily sell you. They are the one that can easily refer you to other persons. So when it comes to real estate, there are challenges that comes with it. You have to start where you are. Okay, start where you are. You can actually get there. So for us, when it comes to real estate, real estate is in different categories. You have the developers. Okay, those are the people that develop properties, that go buy largest parts of land, develop it, and start selling. Some sell and ask you to come and build, while some build and sell the building. Just like that. Why we have property brokerage? It's just like a stock market. Before you can come and tell me I have 50 by 100 to sell at Buyoko, the other one come I have in Saple Road, the other one come I have in this area or that area. So you tell me, so I start looking for buyers. That's why I work with network. You can't really do it alone. You can't, there's no island. You can't really exist on your own when it comes to that, because you need network to sell those properties. You will need friends. It works with what you don't have, your colleague might have it. Yes, and what they don't have, you might have it. So it's networking. So by the time you bring the buyer and have the property clicks, sorry, the sales clicks, the commission is shared between 2 persons. That's property brokerage. A lot of persons are into that. That's a starting point for so many persons. While you have the people that rent property, the normal one, you see 2-bedroom flat, 3-bedroom flat everywhere. So that one is very easy. You just have a good office and all of that. So, but when it comes to that, it's not really capital intensive. You can actually, like, that's how I started. I just got a board. I picked a board from the street. Okay, I charcoaled the board. I wrote estate agent, wrote my phone number, I wrote 3-bedroom flat, 2-bedroom flat. I have about 4 boards. That's how I started. I put in some strategic junction street. Yeah, they started calling me. So that is how I actually started real estate from nothing. You know that word when they tell you that business can start with no capital. That's how I actually started. Wow. With nothing. Even the chalk I used in writing on that board, I went to a school close to me there and begged them for a chalk. They gave to me. The charcoal I used, I just went to a nearby where they say Akara, gathered the charcoal and battery. The way we used to do it in secondary school. Wow. Yeah, so I just ground it and used it to dark the board and write and put in strategic junction. So at times when rain will fall, it will wash away those things. So I started thinking, what do I do? So I got to a shop, bought real black paint, painted the board, used chalk to write on it. They took white paint to follow those chalk, so that when it dried, it will not be washed away even when it's rained. That's how I started. So from there, I used to have, I wasn't having office. I was using my one room at that time. No, not even my room. I was squatting with one of my cousins.
Wow.
So in the morning, we'll remove our foam, our mattress, don't call mattress, okay, from the room and just arrange the room as office setting. So by the time they call us, we'll tell them this is our office. So they come and they do business with us. When it's night, I just sit back to a room setting. So it was not really rosy. So when you hear Tweak Real Estate Firm today, you think we just got here. No, it has really been God. 1, 2, hard work. 3, consistency. So at the time before we got our first estate, it was really challenging. It was challenging because these people want you to give them like 50 million naira at once or 100 million naira. Depends on the size of the land you are actually trying to get. So by the time you don't have that money, it becomes very, very challenging for you. And most banks wouldn't want to give you that money. 1, because you don't have a name. 2, you don't have collateral. 3, you can't expect bank to give you 50 million naira. There's no collateral on ground. So it was actually challenging for us, but we made God made a way, and we had breakthroughs. We had investors coming, people that could give you money for one purpose or the other. So you just have to put them together. You need 1 or 2 persons that can invest with you, and you make your first shot and you start moving. So the major challenge when it comes to this real estate is finance. When you're talking about the development, the developer aspect of it majorly is finance. Why the other one? You don't really need anything to start. You can actually start where you are.
Wow.
Yes. When we packed out from that place and we discovered that our house was far off, I started using our church bacha. I was attending a church at Nekme, a Living Faith Church Nekme. I was using the bacha outside. I would take a table and chair and sit outside. When they call me, I say, I'm in my office, come. They'll meet me outside the bacha. Although I took permission from the pastor, I was sitting outside.
Wow.
Just that was my office. That's how I started. So it took me 4 years to make sales for my first land. Yes, so I think the money that came in at that time was 1.1 million. It took me 4 good years to get there. And by the time we were able to get that, I have a vision. I didn't buy a car. I didn't started buying clothes or shoes or start living a flamboyant life like I just hammer 1.1 million naira. So no, the first thing I did was to look for a good office space at Nekme, Upper Howard Junction, 145 Way. So I rented the place. I think the office space cost me about 72,000 naira at that time. So I was able to furnish it, make it look very classy.
Wow. As
small as it was, but just the size of this my office. So I had a reception, my main office. So that's how we started from. We started going. After we got the office, things didn't change so much, okay, but we were still moving. There were times I could not pay rent. They locked up my office for 6 months. Yeah, there were times that I could not pay my secretary. I think I was paying her 11,000 naira at that time. I could not pay. So we've had our fair share of challenges. It comes. So if you are listening to me out there, you don't have to be discouraged. If you have the conviction that real estate is what you should go into because God is leading you, or you have passion for it, there's no way that you won't succeed. That's what I believe. You will succeed if you have passion, you are consistent, and you pray, you are ready to work hard, and you are ready to introduce new innovations. I don't want to use the word technology. You have to be creative to take real estate to another level. So that's where it is. People want to do it the traditional way. Since I learned it like this, it must be like this. No, you have to bring innovations. You have to be open. You have to be open-minded.
Thank you for watching today's episode on My Property and I remain your host, Sarime John is my name. You know, the way you lay your bed, that's how you're definitely going to lie on it. Having an assurance of genuine property gives you peace of mind. This is why we urge you to follow us every Tuesday by 5:30 p.m. on AIT Benin and on Saturday by 1 p.m. also on AIT Benin. You can also follow us on all our social media platforms. Bye for now. See you next week. Same time, same station. Bye for now.
My Property and I. Myself, fit the landlord.